Thank you guys, and welcome to this semester's Engage Veteran Professionals. My name is Donald Stockton, and I'm the Communications Director for the University of Nevada Veteran Alumni Chapter. Due to some interesting circumstances, we're going to move the program up, and we're going to welcome our keynote speaker to the podium right away. Caleb Cage was appointed as Chief of the Division of Emergency Management and Homeland Security Advisor on July 6th of 2015. He graduated from the United States Military Academy, West Point in 2002, and initially served as a field artillery officer in the 1st Infantry Division in Bamberg, Germany. During his 5 years in service, he made 2 deployments to Iraq, serving as a Company XO, motorized rifle platoon leader, and Corps Information Operations battle captain. Skipping to the end, he also was instrumental and one of the key features for the creation of Engage in 2014-2015. He's been away from us for a while because he's a busy man, but join me in welcoming Caleb Cage to the podium.
Good morning, everybody, and unfortunately I've got to start with probably the good news for you, and that is I have to leave here sooner than I had planned. For my first 15 months or so, one of the key things that we were watching out for in the emergency management world here in the state of Nevada was the threat of drought and the considerable and ongoing threat of drought. And since January of this year, we've had a series of major flooding incidents here in northern Nevada, as probably has affected all of you, and it's really overwhelmed us. And this morning we have a community in north of here that we need to go visit, and my schedule got changed, and so please accept my apologies in advance that I can't be here and deliver the hour-and-a-half speech that I promised Troy that I would early on. So thank you all for the opportunity to be here. I'm really proud to see this room here. This is such a beautiful room and a great get-together, and I think it's absolutely matches what we had envisioned back in 2014 when a group of us sat down and started talking about how do we bring together the veterans that we know from the professional world, the veterans we know from the service organizations that we're a part of, and the veterans that we know in higher education together, and make sure we build a network so that we're supporting one another, we're helping one another once they get out into the job world, once they get out into the real world, as we call it sometimes, and make sure that they have access to all of our networks. If somebody has a relationship or an expertise or a skill that they can help somebody else with, that they can give them access to, how do we make sure we have a network where we can connect people to that? But there was a second part of it too, and that was, how do we show the community a narrative of veterans that we think is probably the best for enhancing our ability as a network to help veterans? And that is, how do we show the communities we live in? We've got some friends here from Las Vegas here. Great to have the student veterans from Las Vegas here who've been a part of this discussion for a long time as well as northern Nevada. How do we show the community that veterans are assets to their community, that they are people who are duty driven, people who are objective focused, goal oriented, and people who are service minded? And we started doing a few things at that point, and one of the key recurring themes that we kept coming back to was we need to get people together on a regular basis and start and get together with members and leaders of the community so that we can talk about what we do as veterans for our community, how we show the service, the duty, the goal accomplishment that we learned in the military back to our civilian community and our civilian lives. And there were a lot of things that happened over the years as this has started, and as Paul said in the beginning, I've had to take a step back from participating, but Caesar and the Alumni Association and others have carried this forward and continued it, and as you can see, it's grown and it's better today than it's ever been. But one of the things that we did early on to show that ethos of service and leadership was we got together and cleaned up a portion of Ward 3 here in Reno. I want to say there were about 75 people who came out that day, veterans, members of the community here. The American Legion put together a breakfast for everybody. Many of you are here today who were participants in that, right by the Boys and Girls Club. right just down the road from here, and we spent a day and filled up 7 of the largest waste management dumpsters that they had with trash and other things from the community there, showing leadership, showing service to the community that we're a part of, showing that we are here, that we have skills and talents that we learned in the military, and that we can apply those to our home, a place that we want to be a part of, and so on. And that is really, I think, the crucial part of what this is here. It's bigger than a network. It's not a place where we come to trade cards and make sure everybody's lined up with our services or sales and that sort of thing. It's more than a network. It's a group of camaraderie that's getting together, showing value to the larger community and showing what we can do so that we can continue to take leadership roles going forward. It's pretty amazing to be back here today and to see a lot of the same faces that were here 2 years ago, almost 3 years ago when this thing kicked off. That's a pretty neat thing here. That's pretty neat to see. Curtis, I think you were just getting out of the Army, right? No, Navy. I was kidding. Just getting out of the Army back when we met the first time, and down in the river on our second cleanup day, picking up all of the nastiest stuff nobody else would touch. He was down there like it didn't bother him. And all of the folks that have been a part of this from day one, who have been a part of all of the things that we've tried, some more successful than others, but really the group that we have here today and the opportunity that the Alumni Association and all of the people who have been a part of this have put together for us today shows the success of this concept, shows the success of this community, and shows, I think, the potential success of what we can continue to do going forward. So I just wanted to say a few of those things here this morning. I believe 2.5 years ago I was the first speaker for Engage when this kicked off, and was talking about how we hoped to achieve a lot of those things, how we were looking down the road to build on really the key thing that established all of this from the beginning, which was the Student Veterans Advisory Council, which many members are here today, and we're the old people as a part of this group, Jeff, but we were bright-eyed and looking for ways of changing the way our higher education provided services to veterans here in the state of Nevada. Had a pretty big impact in 2015, actually. But from that group, we continued to build on this idea going forward and make this day possible, and all of the other things that Engage means to the community here and will continue to mean here. So I just, again, if I had the 20 minutes or more, I would have told you more stories about some of the things that we've done and talked about those things, but unfortunately I do need to leave here, and my mom just showed up, so so I need to get out of here before she starts telling stories. But I just want to say thank you for all of you, and I want to say from a personal standpoint, I'm committed to the ethos that we've tried to establish here: service and leadership in our community for the betterment and improvement of our state. I've left the veteran space, and I've always been saddened by that. About 20 months ago, I was given an opportunity to become the emergency manager for the state of Nevada. It was a terrifying proposition, still is sometimes, but I've been there and really enjoying the things that I enjoyed about the military there, right? The ability to help people, the ability to lead, the ability to serve the community here. And I encourage all of you, I know all of you have taken your own paths in the last 2.5 or 10 or 20 years, but I encourage all of you to continue to embrace that. We as a veteran community have a great deal of value to provide for those who we live with here in the Reno-Sparks area, Clark County, throughout Nevada and throughout the country. It's just going to continue to be true, and the more that we can step up to take service and leadership roles, the better off our communities are going to be, and the better off our veteran community is going to be. So thank you all very much for the opportunity to speak here, and I got to go. Have a great day.